First, though, British Airways are offering businesses the opportunity to experience a simulated emergency at its flight training centre near Heathrow. It's the latest exercise to be offered to companies looking for new ways of developing team bonding. So it got us thinking, how would we cope if the loose women team had a go? Who would stay and save the others, and who would make a dash for the nearest cabin door?
Well, I would like to think.
Fellas.
I would like to think that I would be Mrs. Mum, you know, as is my wont.
Yeah.
And stand there going, keep the home fires burning this way. But I could be, let me out. I don't know. No, I'd like to think I was going to be calm, but I think...
You don't know how you would react,
I'm a bit suspicious of these things, because it's not real, is it? You know, I mean, I could fool you all into thinking I was a marvellous person having a crisis, and then we could, God forbid, be on a aircraft going somewhere altogether, I could turn into a monster.
Yes, that's exactly right. You could find out. You know, a lot of people think, you know, if I were in that situation, I would definitely help other people look up. But you know, I don't think you would. I think it's human nature. I think we all have that basic survival instinct, and I just don't think you can fight it. I mean, I watch, look, sorry about this, but I do watch air crash investigation all the time. It's one of my favourite shows.
Ask her anything about any air crash anywhere, and she knows everything, don't you?
Yeah, you know, and the reason I watch it is because it's actually quite reassuring, because pilots are so well trained they can get you out of all sorts of scrapes. You know, you might not need to panic in certain situations. But what I'm saying is that when they talk to the people who have survived certain air disasters, quite often you find, you know, people have been really sort of shocked by their own behaviour. The way they have actually left the plane and walked past people who they knew, they kind of have to make a snap decision. They know they can't help. And the point is, with human nature, I think, you know, you do automatically think, well, there's no point in two of us dying, so what would be the point in staying behind?
What you're saying is you would leapfrog over me to get to the emergency exit.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying...
I never liked you.
What if I was going, Carol, save me, save me?
Well, you know, seriously, if I thought I could, I would. But if I saw that your legs were trapped... If I thought the chances were that I couldn't get you out, I would go forward and I would...
What would you do? Would you say, bye, Sherrie, bye, sorry?
I think it depends. I mean, you don't know how you're going to react, but I would imagine, and there is that sort of phenomenon of, you know, when children are trapped in burning cars and things, their mothers get this superhuman strength.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know how I'd react with anyone else, but I know for sure if my kids were there, you know, there was nothing that would stop me getting them out of there, or I would die trying.
Yeah. Yes, but you would do. With your own kids, I'm sure you would, you know. But, again, you really don't know until you're in that situation. I'm not saying you wouldn't, because I'm sure you would. But, you know, when they interview the people afterwards, a lot of them, they can't live with themselves. They really suffer from terrible post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they also have... They have terrible depression because they know what they did, but they couldn't help themselves, you know, and it's a horrible situation. Of course it's a horrible situation to be in, which is why this whole team building thing, to simulate an emergency on an aircraft is a bit silly, really, because, you know, you're not in a real situation and you know you're not, so, you know, what really is the point of it?
How do we think Sherrie would react?
I think I'd be very much in control. I think I'd organise everybody. You see, my theory is if you can get to the wing, that's my theory. If you can get out and get on that wing, so if you go down in the water, you've got something to float on. And that's what I always think when I'm in an aircraft.
She's standing on the wing going, get off my wing! Get off my wing!
This is my wing. That's my theory. And sit by that door. You know, when they come over to you and say, are you fit and healthy, can you open this door? That's the door to be by, isn't it?
Except, excuse me, it's the heaviest door. We were talking about this the other day. They should have things practice for all of us, I think, so we know what we're doing. Because that door, it says in small print, it is quite heavy. And apparently it is really heavy, so you'd be there, you know.
But unless, if the plane's buckled, obviously you won't be able to open it. But, you know, my advice...
Thanks for that note of optimism.
My advice would be, right, so that what everybody says, all the experts say, don't sit further away than 7 seats from an exit, if you can.
Down.
Yeah, because then you stand more chance. But the other interesting thing about it is, in certain situations, people have literally formed orderly queues to get off the plane. Exactly, in terrible crashes. And also, they have observed people madly getting their luggage out of the people really have to kind of. I think a lot about what would happen because I fly a lot, so I do. I think what I would do and how I would react.
I think if that ever happened to us, we were on the plane, everybody else would be out and down those chutes and floating off to safety, and we'd all be standing. And I'd be going, "Shut up!"
I'm going now. Where is everything? Where's your bag? Where's your pens? Where's your food? Where's the
minibar?
So